Thanks very much for joining us for this special MPC broadcast. I'm joined in studio by Tshepo Mongoai. He's our economics editor. Thanks very much for joining us once again, Tshepo. So one of the things that the Reserve Bank governor has been harping on about for the longest time, and I know that other central bank governors have been talking about, is the issue of public debt. Even I think the World Bank or the IMF, one of those two, put out a statement to indicate that we're going to have absolutely trillions and trillions and trillions of public debt, which looks like it's going to be unmanageable. But let's just come to home, because of course that's what's relevant to our viewers. Why is it so important for us to get a handle on our debt?
No, it's quite important. In fact, one of the issues he raised was the risk premium that has been coming down because of the positive sentiment that we are seeing in the economy. During the MTBPS, of course, the minister said that our debt is likely to stabilize at around 75% of GDP because of the investment that is likely to come through. But there are dissenting voices that say that it could actually peak at around 80% in the next 2 to 3 years if we don't see significant investment coming through. For some reasons that I've already mentioned, that of course we are relying on the private sector in order to drive the investment that we need in the economy. Of course, the plans in there and the willingness is there from the business sector to come to the party, but the negotiations can be quite tough when they do happen. Debt globally is going up, and even our own debt, at the rate that we've been accumulating debt, has been going up. We're talking of fiscal anchors now that we put in place in order to put a cap on our spending, particularly in reducing debt, so that we don't end up being in the same situation with the rest of the world, where they have over 100% of debt to GDP, which becomes quite painful, because what it simply means is that for the money that you generate as a revenue, you've got a large percentage that simply goes into paying off that debt.
Yeah, the debt.
And there's a high risk of a debt default as more resources go towards paying debt. But we know for the past 10 to 15 years, each finance minister has been saying we have a plan to reduce our debt. We think the debt will come down, but what we have seen instead is that our debt to GDP has been going up. And I think the COVID actually opened the floodgates, because it gave us a reason good enough to spend and to push it up. We still maintain that as a country we will reduce the debt, but at the same time we're saying, we're spending more on it, and we should bring it down.
Tshepo, we're going to wrap it up there. We've run out of time. Thank you so much. My boss there and colleague, Tshepo Mongoai, giving us his take on the latest Reserve Bank's decision to cut interest rates by 25 basis points. That decision takes effect tomorrow.